Hello, everybody. Bruce here from Live Right. Thank you for tuning in. As always, your calls and comments will be received, and I want to hear from you. I want to hear how the show can be better and how we can affect, on a positive note, everyone that's listening. Just real quick, everybody knows Live Right stuff, what we do. I do want to point out that it's that time of year again. We have our Spring Spectacular, and it's happening April 16th from 6 to 9 at the Italian American Cultural Society. Very nice venue. They have great food. Trust me on this one. I know. And that's on Romeo Plank in Clinton Township. Please call us if you'd like to help us sponsor or even donate a little money. We have to raise funds. We have to keep the lights on. You know, the stuff that everything costs money nowadays, right? So if you could give us a call. As I said, any more information, just call up, ask for any team member, and we can lead you on to that. Also, I want to let you know we have an excellent youth empowerment program that segues into our jail diversion program. And with that, we hold pro-socials for the youth. Also, there's too many events that we have going to list here. But if you could, just go to our website, and that's liverightstructuredcorp.com, or call up here, ask for any one of us, and we will love to chat you and fill you into what's happening. But today, most importantly, our special guest today, Nicole. She hails from Oxford, and she has a story that I think that needs to be told. This month we're focusing on the youth, and I think this story is very important. And without further ado, this is Nicole. Nicole, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing well.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, not a problem at all. Have you ever heard of Live Right?
No, I actually just moved back to Michigan, so I'm very new to just getting connected to any kind of resources or platforms.
Oh, wonderful. Well, I'm glad it was through a mutual friend that I got your number, and your story hit home. So if you could, please tell us your story.
Yeah, well, my story, I guess it starts with becoming a young mom. I was a mom at 16 while I was still in lockup. My son Nathan, he saved my life because I was on the path of destruction as a teenager.
Okay.
And he unfortunately chose not to live with me and to kind of take the path of self-destruction and addiction. And I went on to have 4 more kids.
Okay.
So, single mom of 5,
right.
kind of just winging life, especially after being locked up the majority of my life. But 5 months before he got put into rehab, he came back home.
Okay.
And I was able to get back some of the time that was lost.
Nice.
And try to help him find the ability to love himself again.
All right.
But unfortunately, the healing process wasn't his focus. So he became more self-destructive.
Oh, sorry.
And I kind of had to give him the warning that jail, institution, and death was the path of an addict that wouldn't surrender. And I watched my son take the whole path. I watched him go to jail. I watched him come out beaming, full of life, thinking that, he's got a new chance at life, and, just seeing him, have more hope. And one wrong move, he went back into the addiction path, and he ended up back in jail. And they put him in rehab.
Okay.
And he was in a great rehab in Warren, and it was actually at the facility that I found out I was pregnant with him.
Okay.
So it was really weird full circle experience, but they removed him and they put him into Team Jefferson, and it was a jail divergent, and they let him do whatever he wanted. They kind of took that. They didn't have a structured responsibility for them. They kind of just were like, okay, you could be on good behavior, you can leave the premises. You can go across the street to the drugstore and the party store and the restaurants. And when I went to go visit there was drug dealers hanging out on the walls, asking if anybody needs drugs. So somehow my son got fentanyl, and it was in his marijuana. So my son, he actually had a drug test that they never approached him that he was positive for fentanyl, and he was still alive. They gave him the drug test. He lived 5 days, and if they would have handled it the right way, he would have known that he had fentanyl in his marijuana, and he would have not have kept smoking the marijuana. But he ended up dying in the facility.
Oh my gosh. So basically, he was poisoned.
Yes.
And that's a shame thing. It's just a shame because there's a difference between overdosing and being poisoned.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely. He had no idea. Absolutely no idea.
Okay.
He came to me in a dream, and he didn't even know how he died. So I'm very spiritual. I'm very connected to that side, and that's what got me through the grieving process. So I went to that dark side of grief when it first, happened, and it consumed me. I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't barely walk up my stairs. I was sobbing. I was throwing up. I was, distraught. And I laid in bed, and I swear I heard Nathan say, "Don't let it have you like it had me," because he was oppressed. That's why he was a drug addict. He was depressed. He was bound in grief because he had so many people pass away. And as soon as that happened, it was gone. The heaviness, the sickness, all of it. And I was like, I have to do something to be his voice. And that's what made me jump out of bed. And I went to that rehab, and I demanded answers.
Okay.
And they treated me like I needed to be handled by security. So I was escorted out. And from there, they said that they have nothing to tell me. And that was their response.
My gosh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So, if I may, how long ago was this?
It was October 4th, 2022.
Okay, so it's about 4 years ago.
3 years.
3 years
Mhm.
ago.
Mhm.
What about your other kids?
So my other
Mhm.
kids, I'm so incredibly proud of my other kids because they saw the destruction and the path because shortly after my brother passed away in Macomb County Jail. So he didn't pass away in Macomb County Jail. They brought him back, but he was a vegetable
Oh no.
for 11 months. And then the medical system completely neglected him. He ended up being 87 pounds, skin and bone, bed sores down to his bones, and he kept getting septic, and he kept on getting his trach kept on getting infected because they were not properly taking care of him, and we had to put him on hospice.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And he was 32.
So I have never been through anything like that.
Yeah.
So I ask these questions because I'm sure the people out there have these questions.
Mm-hmm.
How was it holding it all together for your other kids?
So we moved.
Okay.
I packed up all of us and I started driving.
Okay.
I did not know where I was going.
I actually like that.
I mean, I was just like,
That's how I am.
I'm out of here. I packed up the rest of my children. I went to Truckee, and another single mom from Michigan was staying there, and she was like, "Oh, they're helping single moms. Come out here." So I was like, okay. I went out there, and they were only helping if you lived in Truckee for a year.
Okay.
It was like, I just drove across the state. I don't know what I'm going to do. And she actually ended up being an addict, and I was like, my kids don't need to be around this. So
Right.
I packed us up and just started driving, and I ended up in Reno. And I believe that move was like the breaking the chain. It was saying, I'm not going to stay in the memory of the trauma. I'm going to spread my wings, and I'm going to fly with my son.
Okay.
And I started seeing miracles. It was like he was opening doors for me in the unseen. I started working in Vegas as a massage therapist for the World Series of Poker.
Oh, okay.
And so it was like I had an angel on the other side, And I think that that's how I was able to stay elevated through all of it.
Okay.
And he left me his dog.
Oh,
So
don't get me going about dogs. Yeah.
so he left me his baby.
May
so
I ask what kind of dog?
Alaskan Klekai.
Ay, nice.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
he's so beautiful. The
Yeah, they are.
bluest icy eyes.
Yeah.
And he's got my son's soul.
Okay.
Like I can just see it, and he is so connected to me. He is so like he's my road pup. So
Nice.
we've traveled all over the place with him.
Okay.
So yeah. But I think also my relationship with God has helped me because I have that ability to just let God carry my burdens and not be heavy from everything that has happened, and to know that everybody has choices in life, and I can't carry the heaviness of other people's choices that lead them down the path of destruction. And I think that that's where people get stuck in grief, is they think I woulda, coulda, shoulda, or
Right.
they get stuck in that, and that will keep you heavy, keep you thinking, keep you, just cycling through those emotions. And I just had to release it and be like, I did everything I could, and my son's not suffering anymore. As sad as that sounds, but he was an addict since he was 12 years old. So, he lived a very hard life as, a soldier trying to, exit out of this darkness of this world that he couldn't, get a handle of. So I think that that's what helps me and my kids. My kids they're my little light warriors.
Okay.
So I think that, anytime that I would start getting sad or getting missing him, they'd be like, Mom, he's always with us. And it was them telling me that because I told them that.
Right.
So it was like everything that I showed them, they showed me. And I think that transfer of support became our foundation to just keep rising and building.
Yeah. I think that's wonderful. I have 2 children. They're adults now. But I can recall many times when they're young adults, and they say, well, Pops, you told me this back when I was 6, and boom. But you're right.
Yeah.
The transfer of love and compassion can come back at you. And when it comes to your children and that what you instilled upon them, there is a sense of, well, I did something right as a parent, right? Because no one teaches you how to be a parent.
No.
I don't care what book you read.
Yeah.
It's all different.
Yeah.
I think it comes from God.
Yeah.
I truly do believe that.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you, and I also want to commend you. And my prayers go out to you and your family. And I want to thank you for being here. Dylan, say thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for coming in. Thanks for listening to Nicole's great story. We're so grateful for having her here. We look forward to working with everybody in the community in the future, and hopefully we'll hear more great stories like Nicole's moving forward.
And we shall. Everybody, keep your eyes out. My co-host isn't here right at this moment, and it's a secret co-host. So please keep your eyes and ears open. We'll be posting soon. Thank you for tuning in. And please, don't forget about our Spring Spectacular. And with that, I bid you all adieu. Be kind to yourself and be kind to others. Thank you.